Okay, welcome guys. So I'm gonna talk about the KZ EDX and why this is by far the best purchase I made this year, and I've made a lot of purchases this year in the audio world. I haven't really been impressed with many of them. No, not that I haven't been impressed with them. I've been impressed into to the level of the money I spent on them. But like, when you spend money on something and you're like, okay, this is worth what I spend my money on, and there's a difference between what you thought was the worth of what you spent and what highly exceeded what you paid for it. And the KZEDX is the earphone that has highly, by far, exceeded any purchase that I made this year. It's not even close because of the level of performance you get from this awesome earphone. I speak highly of it because of what KZ was able to achieve with this set. You guys that may see will be like, why do I have tapes on the EDX? The reason why I have tapes on the EDX is because I'm covering the vents here. There are two vents here. What those vents do, that they tend to relieve sound pressure in earphones. In most, I think they do that for most dynamic driver earphones, and some I've seen that on some balanced armature, but I did that to cover it up, to tighten up the low end of the EDX, even though it didn't need it because I never had it on it. I just did it on the Jade and it worked tremendously, and I figured, okay, let me try it on the EDX. And what I found out that what it did was the EDX, it's that upper mid that tend to be a bit sharp that people were talking about. It wasn't even sharp to me. It was like it was bringing detail, but some people don't like that extra detail. So what it did was, once you slap on this cheat tape, immediately it will remove that top end, like that upper mid top end, and still be giving you that high quality detail. There you won't lose anything, like the detail, the clarity you want to get is still there. So it's just that it removes any form of sibilance that you can expect from any EDX. So when you buy your EDX, please slap on a tape on it. So that's the first cheat that I use for the EDX. Slap on a tape on it. The next thing that you do to the EDX is to get it a silver cable. You can see I have a silver cable on the EDX. It is very imperative that you get the silver cable. The stock cable it came with is very nice. I like the stock cable. I don't mind the stock cable. I use the stock cable for a month, but I needed to improve the sound of the EDX to its fullest potential. So here we have a silver cable on it, and it is fantastic. A silver cable on the EDX, it not only improved the sound, but it actually made it better to drive, because the EDX was very easy to drive with the copper stock cable, but when you slap on a silver cable, it makes it harder to drive. I don't know what the cable did with the impedance or the sensitivity. I just don't know. All I know is that when I put on this cable, my amp that I could easily drive this earphone with the regular copper stock cable at maybe a very low volume, this now I have to run it at a very, very high volume to get that level of sound, and it doesn't distort whatsoever. I don't know what silver cable does to the EDX, but I think it works very well with the driver or something like that. So try to get a silver cable for it. I'll leave a link to a silver cable that you can get. You can get a KBEAR Limpid, or the Limpid, or their Limpid Pro. They have their much more premium Limpid Pro, so it depends on what you want to get for it. Once you then get it, please get a wide bore ear tip for it. You can get that from the link in the description. Go to TINHIFI store, just type, once you go to TINHIFI store, you'll see their whirlwind wide bore ear tip selection. It is in a black bag. I'll leave a link to that store so you can get the ear tips that I'm using specifically. They have their white color and they have their black color, so it depends on the color that you would like, but get the white bore. The white bore works very well with the ear, because what the white bore does is that you can see the drivers are very exposed, so when this goes into your ears, it actually does not block out any sound from the earphone. The whole sound, the detail and everything goes into your ears, and you get a lot of detail and a lot of clarity from it without, and it still has that very large sound. And the ticket to why this is a very famous earphone is that it has a very large sound stage, and you will experience that large sound stage when you're watching a movie with it. So movies on this is still the best. I've never heard any earphone or headphone that sounds as good as this, especially when you are amping it watching a movie. It sounds just incredible because it has a very wide sound stage, and vocals sound very good without any sibilance whatsoever, especially when you pair it up with a silver cable. Whether it's a balanced cable or not, it doesn't really matter. So just pair it up with something. So honestly, this is by far the best purchase for this year. There are some upgrades that you need to do on it to get the absolute best out of it. If you can get it a silver cable, wide bore ear tips, seal up the vents, and you would have a killer dynamic driver earphone that could last you for ages. And this is even my first time of buying multiple of the EDX. I've ordered for more EDXs. I ordered for 2 extra EDXs because I feel that this is an end game set. I'm going to be using this earphone for many years to come. So before they all go out of stock, I ordered for 2 more to come. So I just leave them in my bag and use them as backups. Maybe this one, because they are cheap earphones, they could break at any time. So if this one goes bad, I will just take out the silver cable and slap it onto the new one and onto the next one, because I really love this earphone, and I feel like it needs to be close to me. I don't want to lose one set and not have a backup, because I'm not really getting that same sound quality from other earphones that I have. And it is really sad that an $8 earphone is destroying a $150 earphone, $200 earphones. It's really mind-boggling. So the links to the EDX will be in the description. It's very cheap. So if you want to buy it, you can buy like 3 pairs of it. It's very cheap. Like, it's that cheap. Anybody can buy multiple EDX. Just remember that you need to upgrade some things to get the best out of it. But once you do that, the EDX is really very unrivaled. Before you start getting a rival for the EDX, you will spend considerably a lot of money to get a very good rival to the EDX. And I'm not being biased by what I'm saying. I'm just telling you guys the honest truth, and that is what is available to me, my knowledge right now. The EDX is amazing. Okay guys, so this is it. Please follow us on our YouTube channel, do subscribe, like our content, and I'm going to see you guys next time.